I used to be so happy, I used to feel so free, I used to laugh, but lately no one's laughing with me. And I'm sick and tired of trying, I'm hiding away. All the people have stopped smiling, and the children don't come out to play. They're building a million silly little houses. There's anger all around. I don't trust anybody anymore. That's why I'm leaving town. A million shitty little houses. There's anger all around. I don't trust anybody anymore. That's why I'm leaving town. And I won't be back ever. I'll never shed a tear. I'll never say never. I'm out of here.
Good evening, Voltheads, and welcome to Virtual Vaultage 11. And can I thank Chris Beck there for sending in such a great video on such a great subject. It's a pleasure to get such great productions dropping through on my email. So do, if you send me your videos, without which of course there would be no Virtual Vaultage at all, just work on them a bit, you know, sort of make an effort to make them look a bit better than just sort of you sitting there strumming a guitar. Tonight's show is bursting as always, so I'm not going to hang around. We've got a special guest who you all know, Ian Walker, tonight, and he has excelled himself by coming back with the best set of answers to Stephen Hobbs' questions that I've ever received since I've been doing this show. Next up, we've got Tony Cook, Steve Hobbs and Mike Betteridge.
Hello, this is a song that I made up some years ago for Carol, my wife, and for me. And it's called No More Distance. There'll be no distance between you and me anymore. From 60 to 60 it seems I was right at your door. You looked to me but I turned away. I reached for you but you couldn't see what for. There'll be no distance between you and me anymore. Teenage lovers holding hands, changing the world and making their plans, pledging each to the other forevermore. Merchants chase him, force him to flee, keeping by time and worse company. His love just watches and loses, turns to the wall. But there'll be no distance between you and me anymore. From 1660 it seems I was right at your door. You looked to me, but I turned away. I reached for you, but you couldn't see what for. There'll be no distance between you and me anymore. He stops running, dig himself a hole, building homes all empty and so, doing his best to keep just this side of the law. She slays tyrants, tackles trolls, raises angels and babies and dolls, keeps her own castle and fights her own kind of war. There'll be no distance between you and me anymore. From 16 to 60 it seems I was right at your door. You looked to me, but I turned away. I reached for you, but you couldn't see what for. But there'll be no distance between you and me anymore. Decades later, one New Year's Day, telling their story, surprising to say, darling, everything's just like before. Past time's done, the bad rhymes in song, the pain and the gain, well, all of it's gone. Sing the chorus then, this time for sure. There'll be no distance between you and me anymore. From 60 to 60 it seems I was right at your door. You looked to me, but I turned away. I reached for you, but you couldn't say what for. There'll be no distance between you and me anymore. There'll be no distance between you and me anymore. No more distance between you and me anymore.
The name's Purcell, Frankie Purcell. People often ask me about my childhood, but to be honest, I don't talk much about that. But since you've asked, I'll tell you about one incident. It was my 10th birthday, 25th of October, 1960. An important day. Well, not just for me. I'm one of 5 brothers, and it happens to be our birthday, all of us. I mean, we weren't born on the same year. That would be stupid. But we were, in fact, born on the same month and the same date, but in between. It's my parents' idea. They thought it would say if you just had one cake, you just had one birthday, and if a child had a present they didn't like, they could just swap it with somebody else. Anyway, I was, as I'm the eldest, I awoke quite early feeling rather nervous. And no, actually quite nervous. I felt I had butterflies in my stomach. In fact, when I put my hand on my stomach, I could feel the butterflies. When I say stomach, I think I mean a bit further down, and I suddenly thought this can't be right, really. I need to get this sorted out. And what on earth could it be? So I popped over to the Isle of Dogs, give a bit of a push. Well, something came out a little bit, and I thought, my God. So I reached out, tried to pull it out. I couldn't. So what am I going to do now? I thought, right, best thing to do is get one of my brothers to give me a hand. So I went, Frankie. Yeah, he's called Frankie as well. It's a family thing. Anyway, he came running out. I said, Frankie, have a look. Can you see what it is? He said, well, yeah, it's got a face, and but I can grab hold of it. So I said, right, fair enough then. You pull, I'll push. 3, 2, 1, and no, wouldn't come out. So Frankie, that's Frankie, my brother, he said, well, why don't we get another brother to help us out? So we went, okay, Frankie, and Frankie 3 came out, and he put his arms around Frankie's 2 waists, and I said, right, you're pulling, I'm pushing. 3, 2, 1, it still wouldn't come out. So we thought, whistle up another brother. So Frankie 3 came out, and he put his arms around Frankie 2's waist, and we all went 3, 2, 1. No. Well, we've only got one brother left, so he went Frankie, and Frankie 5 came out. Now Frankie 5's only 2, he's only little, but he put his arms around Frankie 4's waist, and I said, right, listen, this is the last chance. You're pulling, I'm pushing. 3, 2, 1. I still couldn't get the thing out, so we thought, what are we going to do now? And Frankie said, I forget which Frankie it was. Frankie says, well, why don't we get the dog to give us a hand? A good idea, I said. So we whistled and went, Frankie! Yeah, he's called Frankie as well. Now, Frankie the dog came out. Now, Frankie the dog is not your normal dog. He's not one of them little Shih Tzu dogs. No, he's a proper dog. He's a cross between a wolf and Margaret Thatcher. So he came out and he grabbed Frankie 5's pyjamas, and they all lined up. And we said, right. I said, right, hang on a minute. I'm pushing, you're pulling. This is the last one. 3, 2, 1, and they all went pull, and the thing flopped out, and it fell out right onto the floor in the bathroom, and it was flapping around, and I could look at it. It was 2 feet long, had a face, and it looked really annoyed. We thought, what are we going to do now? And just at that moment, Frankie ran up and grabbed it in his mouth and ran off into the garden. That's Frankie the dog, by the way. And we thought, goodness me. And in that moment, my mum came in and she looked around and she said, what's going on here? Oh, nothing, Mum, I said. We're just here to practice our birthday song. So we all had to go, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Frankie. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hurrah, hip hip hurrah, hip hip hurrah. Anyway, that's what happened on my 25th of October 1960, my 10th birthday. And to be honest, I'm not going to tell you anymore because my name isn't David Bleeding Copperfield, it's Purcell, Frankie Purcell. And when that was done, my mum made that comment that's since made her very famous. She looked us all in the eye and said, Frankie, my dears, I don't give a damn.
Really important that note is right in this song. It gets played on. It gets played at the same time as that one, so it needs to be right. Right, can we do this one? This has never been out before, and I don't give much away, but this blind terror. Love is a verb, love is a doing word. Fearless on my breath, gentle impulsion shakes me, makes me lighter. Fearless on my breath, teardrop on the fire. Fearless on my breath. Water is my life, faithful mirror. Fearless on my breath. Confusion, fearless on my breath, most faithful mirror, fearless on my breath.
Thanks, guys. I hope you like the new look of the Virtual Voltage. I decided that after 7 years of using the same old masthead as I had done for the Virtual Voltage, or rather the Voltage Open Mic, needed a bit of an update. You know, like a car starts looking a bit tired after 7 years, so you give it a fresh look. So I like to think the Virtual Voltage is a bit like a Volkswagen Golf. It's had a bit of a facelift, but fundamentally it's the same biology underneath. I've dropped the word open mic simply because this isn't an open mic show anymore. Most of the videos aren't live, even if they look live, and obviously by the time I send it out they're far from live. So it's a show that I'd like to think that I could actually run parallel with the Voltage Open Mic, if that comes back into being, of course, because it gives everyone an opportunity to show what they can do to a much wider audience. So that's how things are going to sort of pan out in the future. I'm still trying to get some of the graphics exactly as I want them. Being a retired architect, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Anyway, next up we've got Hatstand, Miller and Walker, and someone who hasn't been on this show before, a band from Banbury, which I'll tell you a bit more about later on, Theodore Lamb, with a great song to finish this next section. Enjoy listening.
One, two, three. My friends, I stand before you to tell a truth most dire. There lurks a traitor in our midst who has invoked the captain's ire.
Has invoked the captain's ire.
He don't deserve no mercy. We ought to shoot him with a gun. But I am not an evil man, so first let's have a little fun.
First let's have a little fun.
We'll tie that scoundrel to a rope and throw it overboard. We'll drag him underneath the ship, a terrifying, deadly trip.
Terrifying, deadly trip.
2, 3, 4. Kill all that filthy landlubber, send him down to the depths below. Make the bastard walk the plank with a bottle of rum and a yo-ho-ho. Kill all that filthy landlubber, send him down to the depths below. Make the bastard walk the plank with a bottle of rum and a yo-ho-ho. Dun da diddle diddle da da diddle da dum bum diddle dum ba dum da diddle diddle da diddle da dum bum bum da dum da diddle diddle da diddle da dum bum diddle dum ba dum da diddle diddle da diddle da dum bum bum. I will not say what he has done. His sins are far too grave to tell. It's not my place to judge a man, but for them he will burn in hell.
For them he will burn in hell.
The sharks will dine upon his flesh, and Davy Jones will have his soul. We'll take his money and his hat. He don't need them where he's gonna go.
He don't need them where he's gonna go.
Well, first let's tie him to a rope and throw him overboard. Drag him underneath the ship, a terrifying, deadly trip.
Terrifying, deadly trip.
2, 3, 4. Kill all that filthy landlubber, send him down to the depths below. Make the bastard walk the plank with a bottle of rum and a yo-ho-ho. Kill all that filthy landlubber, send him down to the depths below. Make the bastard walk the plank with a bottle of rum and a yo-ho-ho. Dun dun da diddle diddle da da diddle da 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 diddle da 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 diddle diddle da 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 diddle da 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 diddle diddle da da diddle da da diddle da diddle da 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 da. We'll tie the scoundrel to a rope and throw him overboard. We'll drag him underneath the ship, a terrifying, deadly trip.
Terrifying, deadly trip.
2, 3, 4. Kill all that filthy landlubber, send him down to the depths below. Make the bastard walk the plank with a bottle of rum and a yo-ho-ho. Kill all that filthy landlubber, send him down to the depths below. with a bottle of rum and a yo-ho-ho. Da-da-da, diddle-diddle-da, da-diddle-dee-da-dum-bum, da-dum-ba-dum-da, diddle-diddle-da, da-diddle-dee-da-dum-bum-bum, da-dum-da, diddle-diddle-da, da-diddle-dee-da-dum-bum, da-dum-ba-dum-da, diddle-diddle-da, da-diddle-dee-da-dum-bum-bum, da-dum-da, diddle-diddle-da, da-diddle-dee-da-dum-bum, ba-dum-da, diddle-diddle-da, da-diddle-dee-da-dum-bum.
This old house is falling down around my ears. I'm drowning in the river of my tears. When all my will is gone, you hold me swaying. I need you at the dimming of the day. You pull me like the moon pulls on the tide. You know just where I keep my bed aside. What days have come to keep us far apart? A broken promise or a broken heart. When all the bonny birds have wheeled away, I need you at the dimming of the day.
What's the common man engage? Truth and deceit are the rules. Who are the fools? Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. For me, no war, no bells or whistles. Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. No guns, no bombs, no nuclear missiles. Theodore Lamb, at your service, ma'am. I'm a simple man with a perfect plan. Theodore Lamb, it's my pleasure to serve you. A simple life, do you understand? Don't you know I'm a Banbury man? Theodore Lamb, it's been my pleasure to help you. Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. For me, no war, no bells or whistles. Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. Bam, 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 Theodore Lamb. No guns, no bombs, no nuclear missiles. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. For me, no war, no bells or whistles. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. No guns, no bombs, no nuclear missiles.
Thanks to Hatstand, Miller and Walker, and of course Theodore Lamb. Another protest song. There seems to be a new wave of protest songs coming out onto the scene, and I really welcome that. Next up, we've got Mel and Dave. You can spell that MELON or Mel and Dave. Doesn't really matter. I quite like Steve's idea of Melon Dave. And we've got a couple of things by myself, a song and a poem. And I make the mistake of just recording me strumming my guitar. So there you are, I've just contradicted what I was saying a few minutes ago. I'm going to do you a little song of my own called Love Can Be a Many Splintered Thing. Love can be a many splintered thing. Takes your heart and it puts it in a spin. You never know which way things go. You take your chances and you let the river flow. Take a hand and you let her kiss your cheek. Feel so strong and yet you feel so weak. a while and your heart begins to beat. You stroke her hair and you swept right off your feet. Feelings grow and you draw her close to you. Your head is reeling but there's nothing you can do. You hold her in your arms and you kiss her lips. She reaches out from her heart to your fingertips. Then one day you find that the lover's gone. You sat there as you wonder what went wrong. It might be that you never meet again. There was so much pleasure, now there's so much pain. Love can be a many splintered thing. Takes your heart and it puts it in a spin. You never know which way things go. You take your chances and you let the river flow. Thank you.
Hello, Mel. Nice to see you, mate. Here we are again.
Dave, why do you always look at me like you want to kill me?
Well, I don't at the moment, but we'll see what happens after the video. But anyway, I wouldn't want to do that anyway, Mel, because you know you're a good mate of mine. And in fact, today I was thinking you're such a good mate. Do you know what I did? I went out and bought you a nice Cadbury's cream egg.
Oh, that's
there
nice
you go,
of you,
mate.
Dave.
All for you. You'll like that. Now, I stole that myself from Wilkinson's, just for you. Now, the other thing is,
There's a lion on it.
yeah, well, there should be because it's organic, mate. Look, I don't nick, only nick good stuff, you know. Now look, this is the best bit about it, though. Look what I found. Look, whoa, look, it's the poster for the next open mic for the next Virtual Voltage. It's fantastic. One that Pat's done. Look at that, it's brilliant. I know nobody will be able to read it properly because you know it's wrong way round and everything, but we can read it all right, you know. But it's great, isn't it? Look, there you are, right at the bottom where you should be.
Dave?
Yeah?
It's upside down, it ain't right.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I've got you there. Oh, of course it is, there it is. Now I'm at the top. Yeah, that's perfect. But, of course, there's one big problem with that, isn't there? Can't be having that, mate. It's got Mel and Dave. I'll have to have a...
I'm in front of you. I've never been in front of you, ever.
Well, you shouldn't be. Shouldn't be in front of me. I always told you to make sure that you're 2 or 3 paces behind me, Matt. I'll have to have a word with Pat about that, won't I? But anyway, listen, I digress. We digress even. The most important thing, don't you realise we've hit the top? We've hit the top. We've arrived, mate. We're there. We've made it, mate. Fantastic. Woo! It's going to be great. Fucking great. It's going to be parties, cocaine, women, drink. Oh, hang on a minute. I know we're old age pensioners, so I better calm it down a bit. I'll calm it down a little bit for the audience, of course, because we are old age pensioners. But who gives a fuck about that anyway? It's going to be wine, women, cocaine. But the only other thing is, though, Mel.
Dave, I can't manage one woman.
Ah, well, I was just going to ask you, actually, while I'm doing all that, what are you going to do?
What do you mean, Dave?
Well, you don't think I'm going to hang about with you anymore, do you?
But
Bloody hell.
we've been together forever.
Yeah, but haven't you read the contract?
What contract?
Well, go and get the contract out of my drawer. You
Oh,
know,
I don't remember
the one
that.
that you signed, the one copy that I put in my drawer.
Well, that when we agreed that's 70-30 split on everything.
Yeah, I said to you at that time when you signed the contract, we're going to split everything down the middle and it's always going to be equal. So I made sure that you got 30%. Now, what we're going to do now, I'm going to make it much less complicated, Mel, much less complicated. I'll have a word with Pat. We'll take your name off, right? That'll be all right. And the other thing is, I won't pay you nothing.
So it's
and
going to say
adios
Dave,
amigo.
Is it going to say Dave and Dave then?
No. What it's going to do, it's just going to have and Dave. And then...
Oh, I see. Cutting me right out.
Yeah, and people are going to say, well, retain an air of mystery around my act, wouldn't it?
But you're my friend.
Well, you know, life's tough, mate, isn't it? You know, we live in tough times. You know, we've been in lockdown, mate. You've got to understand these things. There ain't no room for all that stuff today, mate.
Dave, you're getting rid of me and I'm your best friend.
Oh, shit. You're going back to the 1960s, you are, mate. Throwback, you know, when people used to have honour and used to stick together, mate. That's all gone.
Are you going to phone me and come visit me?
I will.
And you won't ignore me in the street because I've noticed you've started doing that.
I'll tell you what I will do. I think I better terminate this video now for everybody because it's gone on a little bit. And,
have you put anything in that?
Well, not yet, but I was just going to give you a little tonic. All right? Bye for now, everybody. See you soon.
The day that he died was also the day that he was born. Falling through several skies that he'd torn, he crashed through atmospheres filled with light and dawn, and landed on another plane to eyes that filled with scorn. Those days are now somewhere in his past. The years have taken their torrid score. Now he dances with footsteps out of time and sings with reckless, crazy rhyme. Yet, somewhere in his inner self, the sweet innocence of the child shines through. But he's pushed back from the edge of paradise to trek along the path of worthless spew, amidst the meaningless crass politics of Jew. That guilt that's forced within the pores of his very soul dissects the very being of his whole, and the universal flow of his timeless entity is shat upon by society's godless mentality. Then spirits ease his wings, and once again he flies through days where fire and hope burn hard within his eyes. He finds again a destiny, a meaning in everything he sees, and before again he's dashed upon the rocks, he catches that brief glimpse of eternity through a keyhole in a non-existent door. Thanks to some guy called Pat, and thanks to Mel Higgs and Dave Justice there. I think that's the best chapter that you've had together so far since you've been doing these. I think I can say there's been no reports yet of a recent murder in Bletchley, but I'll keep my ear to the ground. Next up, we've got a couple of performers who are regulars here on the Virtual Voltage, or are becoming regulars. Pat Simmons, another friend from the north of England, and Ralph Keats, who, if you know the sort of Vault Spa scene, you'll know Ralph very well indeed.
I'd like to play my version of a classic Richard Thompson song. This is Vincent Black Lightning, 1952.
Red-head Molly, that's a fine old bike. Girl could feel special on any such like. St. James to Red Molly, my hat's off to you. Sir Vincent Black Lightning, 1952. I've seen you at the corners, cafes and seams, red hair and black leather, my favorite color schemes. And he took her on behind. Down to Box Hill it ain't right. St. James to Red Molly, there's a ring for your right hand. I tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. I've fought with the law since I was 17. I robbed many a man to get my bills and shoes. I'm 21 years, I'm like 22. I don't mind dying, I fought the love of you. You broke my stride. I gave you my bills and to ride. Down Red Molly, said Sergeant McCrae, who'll take in James 80 for armed robbery. Shotgun rest to the chest, not much left inside. Come down Red Molly, she was dying bedside. She came to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road, he was running out of breath, but he smiled to see her cry. Said, I'll give you my bills and to ride. St. James, in my opinion, there ain't nothing in the world beats a 52 Vincent and a red-headed girl. Your Martins and Creeves and Indians will too. You don't have a soul like Vincent 52. He reached for her hand, he slipped her the keys. Said, I don't have any further use for these. Some angels on aerials, never and cold, swooping down from heaven to carry me home. And he gave her one last kiss, and he died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. Vincent Black Lightning.
I'm going to try a song now by Gillian Welsh called Hard Times. Sort of sums up where we are now in some ways. There was a Camptown man used to plow and sing. He loved that mule and the mule loved him. When the day got long, as it does about now, I'd hear him singing to his muley cow, calling, "Come on, my sweet old girl, and I'll bet the whole damn world we're gonna make it yet to the end of the road." Singing hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind, Bessie. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind no more. Said it's a mean old world, heavy indeed. That big machine is just picking up speed, and we're supping on tears, and we're supping on wine. We'll get to heaven in our own sweet time. So come on, all you Asheville boys, turn up all your old time noise, and kick till the dust comes up from the cracks in the floor. Singing hard times ain't gonna rule my mind, brother. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind no more. But the Camptown man, he doesn't plow no more. I've seen him walking down to the cigarette store. Guess he lost that knack, he forgot that song. Woke up one morning and the mule was gone. So come on, all you ragtime kings, and come on, all you dogs, and sing, and pick up the dusty old horn and give it a blow. Playing hard times ain't gonna rule my mind, honey. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind, sugar. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind no more. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind, honey. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind, sugar. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind no more.
Thank you, Pat, and thank you, Ralph, for those two songs. Now, we've got to the part of our show where we have the Stephen Hobbs interview. And this week, or this month, I should say, it's March. It's March already, I can't believe that. And the great thing is, it looks as though we might be coming out of a lockdown, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure you all are too. But no, our Stephen Hobbs interviewee this week is none other than Ian Walker, who is the guitar part of Miller and Walker. I'm not going to say much more about this, except you're going to enjoy this. It's the best entertainment I've had since we had to shut down the Voltage open mic.
Hello, Ian, Miller and Walker. I trust that Miller and Walker have come through the pandemic safely. What have you both been doing musically since March 2020?
Just waiting for Janice. Should be here any minute. Hello? Where the fuck are you? Sighing like a tit. What do you mean you can't make it? Don't worry. I'll think of something. I'll think of something. Okay? I'll see you later. Bye. Well, looks like Janice isn't going to make it, so, what was the question again?
Now, Voltheads will remember Miller and Walker as Janice Miller, vocals and dance, and Ian Walker, guitar, occasional vocals, and best worst bongo player in Stony. Tell me, how would you describe Miller and Walker?
There's a certain purity, a purity of tone, and I always hear it in Janice's voice, and she always reminds me of the wonderful, wonderful Norma Jean.
Younger than springtime am I, gayer than laughter am I.
I meant Jean Alexander, sorry. For me, rhythm is king, especially dynamics. I practice my dynamics every day in many different ways to really hone in on the skill.
George, this is a madhouse.
Hello? Yeah, I've just done it now. Yeah, I mentioned all the things you said, ethereal, floaty, nicey, yeah. No, I promise, I didn't mention the Hilda thing. Yeah, it's a bit miserable here and all. Yeah. Toast for my breakfast, what did you have? Nice.
Now, I'm assuming that you both like the same sort of music, but tell me exactly how do you go about choosing a song to cover?
And action.
That one?
No.
That one?
No.
That one?
No way, that's absolute filth. No.
And cut.
Shall I get that?
No, just leave it. It's only Janice. She'll just be hassling me. I'll text her later.
And Ian, this is my final question. I've recently heard some wonderful instrumental music from Ian Walker. Is this the first step towards writing your own songs?
Janice, stop blowing the whistle for a second, will you? Look, what are you playing at? The whistle solo's after the 8th verse. We'll start again after the frog.
thanks Ian and thanks Steve for putting such a great interview together. It's always fun because I never know, and Steve doesn't know what the answers are going to be, and being remote from each other, neither of them see the finished product until the day it's actually broadcast. So it's always fun. I really look forward to sort of meshing that whole thing together. Thanks everyone else who's contributed to the show. Do keep sending the videos in, and as I said earlier, you know, just put a little bit of extra effort into them because it just makes the show so much more fun. Finally, I always like to put some great music on at the end. You know, we start off with some great music, and there's a lot of great music on in between, but it's nice to have something with a punch at the end. And so we've got another band, Rufus Goodlove from Banbury. Actually, there's a link between the two bands because Rufus Goodlove came along to play at the Voltage as guests 3 or 4 years ago, and the singer is Matty Keefe, and he is in both bands. And the great thing about this song, and I didn't know Ian was going to make any reference to Marilyn Monroe in his interview, and this song has been up at the end of the show more or less since Matty sent them to me 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that's a lovely sort of magical thing that happens sometimes. I'm looking forward to the April edition, to producing that. Takes up a fair bit of my time, but I enjoy it. You know, it's another project for me. So have a good time. Start planning your futures out of lockdown, and we'll see you all on the 29th of April. Take care and good night.